Hello and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you are a power year number 2, you're at the right place. Now you will be a power year 2 all year long. You only have to do those calculations once. And just to review a little quickly about how to get to your power year number, if you take your birth month and your birth date, add them together. Now, if it's not a single digit, reduce it to a single digit. So add the two numbers together until you get a single digit. So January is 1, March is the month of 3, or you're born on the third day, excuse me. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Say that's your number. Now add 3 to your single digit number. 3 represents 2019. If that's a double number, reduce it to a single digit by adding them together. Okay? So if you've gotten to we are at 2, power year number 2, you're at the right place. In the month of May, 2s, you're in the month of 7. So let's review. Okay, so a power year number 2 is a year where you're meant to be a peacemaker. You're meant to learn to work with others. It's a very good year for relationships, either concluding them or creating them or committing to them. It's a year where you work with others as a team. So that's the year. Now the month that you're in is 7, and it's kind of like, whoa, hold the phone, don't make any rash moves or decisions, and quietly think about what you really want. And we'll talk about that more as we go on. Actually, let me read to you now. Get your pencils out. If you'd like to take down some important dates for you 2s in the month of May, I have them here for you. Okay, so great days to find a job, to pitch a plan, to pitch a project, or get included in a project in May for you 2s will be 6th, 15th, and the 24th of May. Days for getting that job, looking for the job, putting out an application, hearing about a job will be May 2nd, 11th, 20th, and 29th. Best days for romance, okay, my 2s, will be May 4th, May 13th, May 22nd, and May 31st. And the best days for endings of anything, for something to end that's been bugging you, or for you to end something, or even a relationship to end, will be May 7th, May 16th, and May 25th. Now, power days for you 2s in the month of May will be May 9th, May 18th, and May 27th. Okay? All right. We got those out of the way, so now I don't have to worry about forgetting about them. Let's start 2s with if you have a job, how is it going for you? How are you perceived in the workplace? Okay, let's start there. Ooh, that's a nice card. Okie dokie. So what I have here for those of you who have a job 2s is that you're doing pretty well, or you're being perceived as doing very well. And then suddenly something is ruffling your feathers, or could be ruffling your feathers. I feel like somebody's either taking jabs at you, or someone from the past has come back and they're working it, or they're working you. I feel like you are trying to work together 2s in this year of 2. Someone else is kind of poking the bear. And what I have here, 2s, is that you mention it to someone, or you go to someone. The conflict here that I'm seeing is that you are in a month of 7, and that is a month of thinking and not making a rash move, but it is a month of what's my purpose? Do I fit here anymore? am I wanted here anymore? Do they like this other person better? Are they going to cut me when the other company buys us out? If that's the type of question, and it's a big question of really, really, what do I do about this? It's not a petty thing. It's a big question. Then you're given permission from the universe to go ahead and talk to the right person. In fact, it's not just permission. They're pushing you to do so. They're not pushing you to pick a little fight or somebody is rubbing you the wrong way. It's if somebody is, you just feel like the carpet's going to be pulled out from underneath you. You should talk to the right person about what is going on here and how can I change it? Is my perception correct in this situation? Because when you're in a month of 7, you're looking at a big picture. Now the big picture for you could be, I rely on the money from this job. I've got to pay this, and this. People are relying on me. I take care of them. Whatever the situation there that you have to know where you stand. And if that's your question, go ahead and pursue it. Not to beat a dead horse, so to speak, but if it is petty twos, if it's a petty thing or it's not that important, let it go until another month, okay? Now, for those of you who are looking for a job, you're a 2 and it's a good year for you to jump in and work for someone or combine energies with someone. So let's take a look at where you are. You're looking good. This is a card that talks about 2s, is that maybe you're not quite sure that you're ready for something or that you're good for something, but this card is saying you're really coming into your own. You're really making good decisions. You're really on the right track for looking for that new job. And you know what? I have to tell you, you've had a bad experience in the past, or somebody critiqued you, or you got let go, or you didn't feel good about the past job you were at, and it is curtailing you even going into the future. I have the Judgment card where you're just too afraid to go for it, or you're depressed, or you're uninspired. Now, you are in this month of 7, and that is a month to be reflective of, was it me? Or was it them? Were they telling the truth? Was I picking up the right things at my last job? Or maybe it was just last Tuesday when you put an application in somewhere and somebody, didn't give you the response that you wanted, and now you're like, well, that's it, that's done. But that's not the case either. You got to think 7. You got to think bigger picture, 2s. What's the bigger picture? I'm looking, let's just make a scenario. I'm looking for more. I'm looking for better. I think that I can do better and be better, but I've had this, I don't know, a lousy experience in the past or even recent past, and now I'm kind of like, nah, poo-poo, no. You don't have to do that. You have to look at the bigger picture and say, look, I don't know what they really meant. I don't know if just because at one place or, whatever, someone gave me the impression that they weren't interested or didn't like my work. Realize if you're putting the kibosh on things or the universe is putting a kibosh on things. Because the big picture for you 2s in this month of May, with this month of 7, is that it's you actually holding yourself back. And it might be based on something that happened with somebody else, another experience, but you don't need to. Because if these cards were reversed, I'd be saying something else, but they're not. Now, let's look at romance. And, okay, 2s, if you're in a relationship, let's take a look at what the universe's advice is for you this month. You're laying it on the line. Okay. Okay, 2. So What I have is you laying it on the line. You want to lay it on the line with your partner about something. And in the past, I feel like there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of changes in the relationship. And I feel like you're doing well and you're coming into your own, or you're feeling very comfortable in the relationship, but you're looking behind you and this person is lagging behind in something and they're not quite up to your speed. And I feel like I have to put it out there because I have to give you what I get. But I feel like if you've been wondering, is there something or someone better for me out there? I feel like there is. Wow, that's a heavy thing to tell you. Now, you're in this month of 7, and that's May, okay? And you may, I do have the card where you're putting somebody in their place, but the thing is that a month of endings, a month to wrap things up is going to be July for you. So what you may do in May is try to give it another month or two with this person that you're recreating a relationship with, or even you're recreating yourself and you want them to keep up, or they're recreating themselves and they want you to keep up and you don't want to. You don't want to move to California when you're on the East Coast. But it is a time for discussion. But I'm leery to say it's a time for big decision because I feel like other factors are going to fall into place in the next couple months, so that you may discuss something but have it in the back of your mind that you want to give it a little bit more time in that relationship before you let it go. But I do feel like the first thing I got is that you may deserve more in a relationship. Let's take a look to if you're looking for a relationship. All right, that's a fun card because you're looking to stick your net. Very nice. Okay. Okay. So if you're looking for a relationship, I have in the present moment is the Fool card. Now the Fool card, you're not a fool, is someone who is willing to stick their neck out, take risks, and put it all out there for a new adventure. And what I have in your recent past is you've had good relationships, or you've just heard something very nice about yourself that someone said, ooh, they thought that you looked darn good. You are in the year of 2. It is a year for finding that partner. What I feel like this final card is talking about is be careful that the person that you're pursuing isn't seeing someone, and let that break up on its own. Don't interfere with that and make a love triangle. That's what these cards are afraid you're going to do, is that you're going to step on toes in one way or another. Even if you are seeing somebody and you've made it clear that you don't want to be going steady, you're just seeing somebody, but you know how other people get. They get attached, and that person's holding on, and then you go out with somebody else and they hear about it and they're very, very hurt. And these cards are suggesting that not to dance on your merry way without explaining yet again to someone where you stand in that relationship, because I feel like you're doing really well and everything is really good, and then all of a sudden there's this slap of miscommunication somewhere when you're trying to find something new or someone new, and it doesn't go so well because you weren't thinking clearly, you didn't have your ears open, your eyes open. You're in a month of 7 twos, and the month of 7 is, whoa, Nelly, hold back. Don't jump into things just yet. And that's what I feel like we're talking about new relationships for you, or situations surrounding love relationships in some way for you, okay? And that would apply to even if you were looking for a reconciliation with someone, is don't jump too fast, because you bump into them somewhere and they're looking good and they think you're looking good, but both of you've got somebody else on the line at home. Don't jump too fast. It could bring you bigger problems. So we're going to shuffle these cards. Actually, I'm going to put all these back in the deck. And if you would choose, think about a question. And it can be about work. It can be about romance, something we've already talked about. Think about it. And I'm going to pull 3 cards and I'm going to ask what's the best outcome we can expect for you. Okay? So, in this month of 7, again, it's not to rush into something. In this year of 2, it's a year of positive relationships, of working with others. And what I have here is you're going to have a lot of opportunities coming your way, whether it's in romance, work, or maybe a lot of solutions to, or a couple of solutions to an ongoing saga or problem that you've had. But you're cutting yourself short somehow. Don't jump the gun and jump right into a fire that isn't really worth it. It's a similar message that you're getting. And again, the month of 7 is not to jump so fast into things unless you can see the great big picture around it. But if you don't know all the information, and the information might be what you really want, it may not depend on anybody else for information. But until you're clear, because I feel like if you jump the gun on a conclusion or an opportunity or an invitation, an option, whatever, and you jump too fast, I don't feel like you're going to be giving yourself the best end of the deal. I think that if you hold out, and it matters, your next month, June, is going to be a good money month. Your next month, July, is going to be your endings month. And August is going to be your new beginnings month. So you're really in a good stretch coming up, twos. And I feel like don't be hasty. Whatever your question is, don't be too hasty. Keep your decision and your thoughts internal if you can help it, and hold off on making a final decision. It's just not the month that you will see clearly enough perhaps on what the best decision or negotiating factor is in whatever your issue is. Thank you, twos. Thank you for joining Jemma's Window. If you would like to know more about me or a private reading, just jump onto my site, gemmaswindow@gmail.com. And if not, I'll see you next month for your month of financial pleasure, okay, in June. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.